So, as you can see, we're back in the hot tub room with the jacket and the Ninja Turtle gloves. Originally, I was not going to do a video on Mega Man Mastermix, uh, but I was going to do a video either on Musketeers by Zanescope or Bloodborne issue number 1, but I haven't had a chance to get to the comic book store yet. So, yeah. Plus, I gotta hope that they're actually there. I did request for both of those to be on my poll list, so hopefully they had saved me a copy. But yeah, that's what I was gonna be reviewing, either one of those today, but I haven't had a chance. So then I was thinking maybe doing a. I also took out a bunch of like old Image comics that I had, and I was thinking maybe doing like a retro review. But then I realized, hey, you know what? I had Mega Man Master Mix, and I never did anything with it. And I don't think I haven't seen anyone else review it yet. I mean, I'm sure there's got to be somewhere on YouTube someone has reviewed it, but I haven't seen it from any of the people that I follow. So yeah, let's do it. So Mega Man Master Mix issue number 1, 80 pages. This is by Udon. So the story and art's by Hitoshi Ariga, which I really like the art. It has kind of like a manga inspired, and then the colors by Josh Perez, who also does a pretty good job with the colors. It feels very like cartoony, like Saturday morning cartoon kind of. Which yeah. So Mega Man. Everyone knows Mega Man, very popular Capcom video game series, came out in the original Nintendo. I'll be honest with you guys, other than Mega Man 1 and 2, I haven't played any other Mega Man games. I think I played one of the Mega Man Legends, but other than that, I never really got into the Mega Man games. I did, however, get into the Mega Man animated cartoon series that came out, the American made. I believe it was American made. Yeah. So I used to watch those all the time. Those are really cool. I like that series. Kind of, I watched it somewhat recently. I don't know, maybe like a year or so back. Very cheesy, but yeah, it was good. And I also read a lot of the mangas, but that's basically my Mega Man knowledge. Like, I was never all that big into the actual video game series itself. So basically, we start off with Dr. Light, Dr. Thomas Light, who was purposely made to look like Santa Claus, and then his namesake was taken from, oh man, what's his name? Was it Thomas Edison? I was thinking Thomas Jefferson for some reason, but no, Thomas Edison. That's where his namesake came from. So this is Thomas Light, and he created all the worker robots that you see. He also created Mega Man, who at this point is just called Rock. And the year is 20XX. I like when animes do this. What is it? Fairy Tail does this too, only I think they do it in reverse. It's XX and then the numbers. I don't know why. I always thought that was kind of cool. So like you never know exactly when the year is. So it can be any time in the year, 20 whatever. I don't know. For some reason, I kind of like that rather than just giving a definite year. You kind of make it vague so that it's, it's not like, okay, say it's 2015 and then I'm reading this in 2018. I'm like, none of this has happened. But if it's like, maybe I can think, oh, maybe it's 2050 or something. I don't know. I just always kind of like stuff like that. So yeah, we got the Birth of Mega Man splash page. Oh, that looks so awesome. Like that would be a pretty cool poster. Like the art on this I like it a lot. Like very manga inspired, and I love the crap out of manga. Which is why it always kind of ruffles my feathers a little bit. It gets my jimmies in a rustles when certain YouTubers like to say that SJWs are all about the manga and anime. It's like, no, they have no respect for manga or anime. They're just claiming SJWs enjoy manga would be like saying SJWs love comics. They just pretend to. But I mean, if SJWs get all upset about comics and the treatment of characters and diversity and all that crap, why the fuck would they like manga? I mean, manga, manga literally has like no diversity. If you see a black character in a manga, that's like a huge thing because, characters are always pretty much Japanese or blonde Europeans. Also, you got the fan service, the treatment of women. I mean, if you think women are quote unquote mistreated in comics, wait until you read a fucking manga. So yeah, this whole like SJWs love manga, nah, that's a bunch of bullshit. They just maybe pretend to like it, kind of like some of them pretend to like comics, but no. So get out of that. Get out of here with that shit. So yeah, basically, Dr. Thomas Light, I'll just call him Dr. Light, has created robots to work as labor. And then he created Rock to kind of, I guess, play the role of his son. And then there's also Roll, who is like his daughter. She's also a robot. Yeah. I guess I don't know. He was always too busy making robots that he never got married and had kids of his own. I guess so. He created his own. I guess this is kind of like basically like Pinocchio, you know. But then yeah, all of a sudden, all the worker robots go crazy and start destroying shit. Cutman was always like one of my favorites in the original cartoons. Just like the way he acted, he was such a little shit. I know everyone like people usually like Man. I don't know. I think because he's supposed to be portrayed as like the cool guy or whatever. But yeah, I always like Cutman. Cutman reminded me a lot of what's that guy's name? Futurama. Clamp. The Clamp robot. I don't know why. I always draw parallels between Cutman and Clamp. But yeah, basically all the robots go crazy and they start just destroying a bunch of shit. And yeah, we get like a silhouette of who the villain is. But anyone who has any knowledge of Mega Man already knows who this guy is. This is oh my god, I can't believe I blinked right there. What are the chances? This is Wiley, what's his first name? Albert Riley, who was named, and actually his appearance is based off of Albert Einstein. And the reason why they chose Albert Einstein as their villain was because Einstein came up with the formula that later led to the development of the atomic bomb, which was later dropped on Japan. So that's why the Japanese made him the villain. So just a little interesting trivia for you guys. I don't know, like this. I think this is cool. Like I really love this art. This art style is just awesome. I don't want to see it in like every comic because it doesn't fit, but for Mega Man it fits perfectly. Like I love this style. The coloring is also really good. So yeah, Mega Man, or should I say Rock, basically decides he tells Dr. Light to modify me into a warrior so I can defeat these robots. And the reason why he wants to do it is because he feels like the robots are like his responsibility because they're his brothers. Technically, since Dr. Light created them as well as him. So he wants to have combat capabilities. And eventually he's able to convince Dr. Light to do it. And that's when he becomes Mega Man. The Blue Bomber. I never understood the Blue Bomber part. I guess, he is blue, but he doesn't really have bombs. I guess when he absorbs Bomb Man, but until then, he's just, he shoots like from a gun, so maybe he should be like the Blue Gunner. I don't know. Speaking of guns and Mega Man, anyone remember the classic Mega Man Nintendo covers, the American versions? Oh, they're so bad. They looked nothing like what Mega Man's supposed to. It was basically just like an adult in a somewhat Mega Man suit, and then rather than having a blaster arm, he just has a ray gun. uh, I really like the artist who does it though. I mean, I've seen him do. He used to do a bunch of the other classic Nintendo covers, like Contra and stuff like that. And he has like this very cool '80s movie poster style. I love his artwork, but yeah, I always get a kick out of the classic Mega Man uh, Nintendo covers for the Western versions, anyways, because they're just like it's like as far from Mega Man as you can possibly get. So then the rest of the comic basically dissolves into Mega Man coming across each of the evil robots one by one. There's a brief fight, and then he beats them and absorbs their powers. So yeah, I mean, it says 80 pages, but that's basically all that happens. So I mean, like first there's Cutman, and I mean look how quickly he defeats Cutman. We start the fight on this page, so we get that, fight's over, and then he absorbs Cutman. So yeah, that we get a lot of that. I can't, like, I don't know, like I love this art. It reminds me of like the Sega and Nintendo days and stuff like that. Like I don't know why. It just like this right here reminds me of Dr. Eggman in the Sonic cartoon, the original. So yeah, so see, okay, he fights Elect Man. And I think Electman is the one that actually puts up. Yeah, Electman puts up like the longest fight. And then yeah, he uses his absorbing power to use the rolling cutter that he got from Cutman, and then he uses that to destroy Electman, and then he absorbs Electman. So it's basically just kind of follows the game where he fights everyone one by one, beats them, absorbs their power, and then uses their power on the next boss. So after he defeats Electman, basically the power generator starts overheating because Electman was keeping it at bay, and the generator is going to explode, which will wipe out a huge portion of the city. So then we cut to him fighting Bomb Man. So yeah, I don't know why they call him the Blue Bomber, because again, he doesn't use bombs until he absorbs Bomb Man. But yeah. So I don't know. I don't know if I should just keep skipping, because I mean, that's basically what we get. So he beats Bomb Man now, and then he fights Fireman, and then he does. It's just basically the same. Then Fireman, he goes to Frostman. So I guess that's one complaint I kind of have, is that the story is very formulaic. In the very first issue, it's basically he fights one guy, beats them really easily. Like literally, he beats people like on the same page at times. Takes their powers, fights the next guy, beats them using the powers that he just took from the previous guy, and then it's just, that's how the whole story goes. It's just constantly like that, till he comes across Dr. Wily, and I don't know what the hell this is. I don't remember this in any of the games or the cartoon series. Yellow Devil. Okay, so yeah, basically Dr. Wily wants. I mean, he's the classic villain where he wants a superhero villain. He wants to take over the world. He wants to take over the world using robots as his personal army. And he wants Mega Man to join, because Mega Man is like the best robot out there at the moment. But of course, Mega Man is, force of good, so he refuses, and then he defeats the Yellow Devil, and then he has the chance to basically Dr. Wily like gives him one last chance to join, and then Mega Man says no, and then he gets his arm cut off, and then we get new robots. Basically they're the robots that Wily created, because the previous robots, again, like I said earlier, they were created by Dr. Light, and then Wily just basically put in a chip inside of them to cause them to go crazy and control them. But these are actual robots that Wily created. But we don't get any like actual fights with them, because they basically, Wily escapes and they help him escape. And then before the generator can blow up, all the previous robots that Mega Man has defeated decide to work together to stop the generator from exploding and saving. They save the city. And then we get a moment where like everyone's all happy, and then Cutman runs out and he's freaking out because Roll is trying to quote unquote fix him, but she's doing like a terrible job. And then everybody laughs, and the cliche, the cliche anime trope, everybody laughs, yay, and that's how it ends. That's only how the first issue ends. Second issue is going to be the Wily numbers, and that's going to be in April, which I'm definitely going to get that too. I'm hoping that we go a little bit different, because I mean, okay, so I guess Mega Man's going to be fighting against all these robots, but I'm hoping it's not the same as this, where it's just like literally he fights one at a time, beats them, absorbs their powers, goes to the next guy, beats them, absorbs their powers, and just keeps continuing with that. Yeah, I'm really hoping that doesn't happen. I want something a little bit new. Here's another thing I didn't even mention earlier. This, like mangas, this is actually read from left to right, which I'm sure you guys have figured out by this point. So yeah, I thought that was kind of cool. I wonder if this was actually made. I'm guessing this is like a Japanese comic first. How could it even been a Japanese manga first? I don't know. But yeah, like some of the Mega Man mangas that I've read are actually pretty cool. Like there's one that's basically wacky races, but with Mega Man. So like each Mega Man character is like riding their own wacky race style car based on their powers. Like I don't know, like the mangas seem to have fun with the stories with the Mega Man universe. This one, like I said, I really enjoyed this comic. I just it got very predictable, and I'm kind of hoping that the second issue isn't going to just be the first issue, but with different robots. Like I'm hoping they actually have a completely different story and just do things differently. But we'll see. And then we get some cool concept art of Rock and Roll, or Mega Man to Roll. I thought that was always kind of cool, Rock and Roll. Yeah, we get concept art for Seeker Focus, yeah, for his blaster. I've always liked this. I've always liked that blaster power up, like the hand cannon, like Mega Man. Who else? Samus. I don't know why. I've always kind of liked that. So then, yeah, we get Cut Man and Bomb and Guts Man. My favorite. We get Ice Man. We get Bomb Man. We get Fire Man. We get Elect Man. And yeah, then we get the Whoops, which it's funny seeing this in the comic. Like I'm always used to seeing this in the manga, but not in the comic. And then we get cover checklist, so all the other covers. So of course this is the one I got. This one's kind of cool too. If I had to pick, I would want this one for the ladies. Yeah. No, I like that art style. I laughed at this one, the blank cover. I'm like, Udon, I'm on to you. I bet what happened was that the artist wasn't able to finish his sketch by the deadline. So they're just like, you know what? We're just gonna put a blank sketch. We're just gonna have a blank cover. We're gonna be like the Beatles' White Album. We're just gonna be blank. People will buy that. I don't know. This just comes across as super lazy. Who the hell wants this? Who wants just a blank cover when you can have like this, or especially this right here. I mean, even these two are pretty decent. But yeah, and then we got the back cover, which again is kind of cool. Also kind of like how the fact that this whole entire 80 pages isn't filled with ads. There's not one ad in here, which is great. Because I hate like, was it Marvel? There was one comic that I bought, and it was like advertising how, like, get all these new 40 pages or whatever, all comics are usually like 20 something. It's like, check out our 40-page issue, and then it's like half of it is ads. Like if I were to cut all the ads out, it would just basically be 20 pages. I don't know. So yeah, the fact that we get 80 pages with no ads whatsoever. It's pretty awesome. But yeah, that's Mega Man Mastermix #1. Blue Bomber Returns by Udon. Really awesome. I'm gonna see if I can see other stuff by Hitoshi because I like his art style. And then Josh Perez, like I said, Josh Perez did a really good job with the coloring. So yeah, I'm starting to run out of space on this phone, so I'm gonna end this here. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Highly recommend. Even if you're not the biggest Mega Man fan, I don't know, I found it great. I'm gonna keep picking up this series. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video, and I will catch you guys next time. I'll probably do, like I said, Three Musketeers, or the other thing I was thinking was Bloodborne. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed. Later.